Today on Newsbytes, Epstein's client list release, Trump disqualified from election, new illegal border record. Stick around for these bites and more, all on today's Newsbytes. Right straight into it here, a total of 14,509 illegal foreign nationals were encountered at the southern border Monday by CBP. This number surpassed a record that was set just last week. Thousands of migrants today are seen waiting to be processed as they crossed illegally into the United States and Texas. The only response from the Biden administration has been to say that they take offense from the criticism and outrage that's being levied towards them over their porous border.
To get to the specific of what's being discussed here, I'm just not going to negotiate from the podium, obviously, but I take offense, and I think the president does too, in saying that we haven't taken this seriously. When you put your first piece of legislation is on immigration to fix the broken system, that is taking it very seriously.
Right, here's the story. Colorado Supreme Court tries to disqualify Trump from the state's 24 primary ballot, declaring Trump ineligible for the White House under the Constitution's insurrection clause. The 14th Amendment was part of the Reconstruction Amendments that were ratified following the Civil War. It was passed to prohibit former Confederate military and political leaders from holding federal or state office. People are calling it an unprecedented attack on the U.S. Republic by Democrat judges trying to silence political opponents. The judgment, though, was immediately stayed until the nation's Supreme Court decides to review the case, meaning Trump will remain on the ballot until the Supreme Court decides no later than January 4th on whether they will take up the case. Here's what Trump had to say on the matter.
It's no wonder crooked Joe Biden and the far-left lunatics are desperate to stop us by any means necessary. They are willing to violate the U.S. Constitution at levels never seen before in order to win this election. Joe Biden is a threat to democracy. It's a threat. They're weaponizing law enforcement for high-level election interference because we're beating them so badly in the polls.
Here's an interesting one for you. Germany's highest court nullified a specific part of the 21 national elections in Berlin due to, quote, mistakes and issues found in certain voting districts. The court, however, ordered a new vote in 455 districts. There were issues with how postal votes were handled. Polling stations didn't have enough ballots, opened late or closed earlier than scheduled, or voters received ballots from the wrong constituency. Temporary closures or interruptions at polling stations and the redistribution of postal votes to different districts raised questions of fraud. The court determined that the Bundestag's investigation was insufficient, resulting in an additional 25 polling districts being deemed invalid for a repeat election. Let's see where this one goes. Names of over 170 of Jeffrey Epstein's high-profile clients are to be released within the coming weeks. A part of a defamation case by Virginia Roberts against Ghislaine Maxwell, they're set for unsealing in early 2024. The documents will expose 177 individuals connected to Jeffrey Epstein's sex trafficking operations, including friends, recruiters, and victims. Judge Loretta Preska ordered the release, indicating, quote, unsealed in full next to the names of these individuals. But is it truly in full? I don't know. Housekeepers from Epstein's Island, figures involved in Epstein's case like Jean-Luc Brunel, Alan Dershowitz, Prince Andrew, and others tied to Epstein's operations are among the listed individuals. All of today's bites are on our website at Disclose.tv. Subscribe and leave your comments below.